Welcome to the Pamplin College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. We're delighted you're interested in learning and growing with us. I'm Wes Kisting, one of the Associate Deans of the college.
I'm Christine Krukal, the other Associate Dean. Pamplin is one of the most exciting and diverse colleges at Augusta University, spanning 6 departments: art and design, communication, English and world languages, history, anthropology and philosophy, music, and social sciences. Together, we teach approximately 2/3 of the university's core curriculum, a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate programs.
We're a college filled with writers, teachers, artists, social workers, journalists, musicians, linguists, historians, health professionals, actors, poets. The list goes on and on. Our Pamplin faculty are known for their commitment to student success and their willingness to provide the kind of personalized attention that kindles your interests into a lifelong passion.
The one constant of the future is change. That's why the liberal arts in Pamplin take a different, more proven approach. We encourage you to be open to exploration and follow your curiosity where it leads. College is meant to expand your horizons, to nurture new interests, to make new friendships and participate in new discussions and experiences. That's the Pamplin advantage.
Certainly we can and do prepare you for jobs, but we also challenge you to think bigger, to realize that no job can fulfill you totally, that life is about much more than work, that satisfaction involves more than a paycheck, and that many of the greatest challenges of life require skills and experiences you won't find on most resumes. Beyond getting a job or launching a career, your success in most areas of life depends on your ability to communicate your ideas effectively, to understand and empathize with others, and to grasp the complexity and nuances of individual personalities and the cultures they inhabit.
Most of the qualities that cause others to recognize you as someone worthy of promotion or well-suited for leadership require a broad and diverse skill set that we can help you develop. Writing, public speaking, creativity, appreciation for art, analytical reasoning, historical and cultural awareness. Across the core curriculum and throughout our majors, we help our students cultivate the diverse skill set and experience they need to navigate life, adapt to change, and establish themselves as leaders in their communities.
So what can you do right now to ensure your time with us is well spent? Be open to exploring, and trust that every experience, even in required courses that you may not want to take, is an opportunity to grow. Commit yourself to finding value in each assignment you complete, and make good use of your access to professors. Challenge yourself to try a few things outside of your comfort zone, and consider seriously that the subjects you're most interested in avoiding may be the ones you most need to take.
If you're self-conscious about public speaking, challenge yourself to take more public speaking or theater classes. If you're confused or uninformed about a topic or issue you keep seeing in the news, find a history, sociology, or political science course that can help you understand them better. Students tend to avoid courses that address areas they feel self-conscious about and prefer courses that focus on skills they already feel confident about. In college, you should identify and shore up your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. That's learning.
There are so many things happening in Pamplin College, but let's hear from some of our students and alumni.
Hi, I'm Annabelle O'Keefe. I'm a junior majoring in a Bachelor of Arts, and my instrument is cello at Augusta University. A memorable experience that I had with the Pamplin College is getting to play the Handel's Messiah last year with the choir. I thought that was really cool because I had never played that piece before, and it was also great to see the collaboration between the different departments. All right, go Jags!
Well, first semester as an art major had to be one of the best semesters that I've had in any type of college setting. Awesome professors, awesome students, everyone gets along. If you need help, you can ask, and they're really willing to help you out. It's not like it's a mega college where you don't really have your voice heard.
Well, I'm the editor of the Phoenix Magazine, which is the student magazine publication on campus. And when I got my first issue published, it was a very special feeling.
Being there on that stage, having the lights on me, with the orchestra in the back, amazing. It was magical.
Like it sounds all nerdy, but like the stuff, like the books like the authors and stuff I've come into contact with just while being here, doing my major, doing everything, really kind of, got me thinking about stuff that's important in the world, stuff that is important to me. So just learning in general, I guess, has been a big thing for me.
Hi, my name is Grace Welsh and I graduated from Augusta University and the College of Pamplin in May of 2019. Now I am an admissions counselor here at Augusta University and I get to share my love of Pamplin every day. One of the many opportunities that Pamplin afforded me was professional development through the Pamplin Ambassador Program, which I was able to be the first inaugural president of it. Other fantastic experiences that really helped my professional and educational career was the research that I was able to do with multiple professors in the College of Pamplin and various departments. They are so welcoming and so eager to see each and every student succeed, and I still to this day have fantastic relationships with them and look forward to working with them as a colleague now.
Hey guys, this is former Augusta Mayor Deke Copenhaver welcoming you to Augusta University. I was a political science major and remember Dr. Ralph Walker telling me, never be too highbrow or too lowbrow of a candidate. And I always took that with me. So thanks, Dr. Walker, and welcome.
Hello everyone, this is Carmen Moses. I'm an Augusta University alumni. I graduated in 2018 with a BFA in photography and printmaking. And I just have to say my entire experience at Augusta University was absolutely life-changing. And the art department especially, I could name one professor, but they're all amazing, as well as all of the art staff there. And they really taught me not just about artistic practices, but really how to be a good, well-rounded person. And I will be forever grateful for that. Thank you, AU.
Hey guys, this is Carmen Landy. Wanted to share with you one of my fondest memories as a student in the MPA program at AU. We did a lot of work in groups and cohorts as we worked on research projects. And what I learned in those groups was a whole lot about myself and my own working habits. But also I learned how to get the best out of my teammates. Later that translated into how to get the most out of my coworkers and then those that I supervise. AU prepared me to be a CEO, and I think they'll prepare you too.